Okay, thank you again for joining me. So, I would like to talk about what happened in Kano recently, which is the fact that a woman killed her children, a son and a daughter, because the husband decided to marry a second wife. And this is shocking and very alarming because this happened in Kano State. In other words, these people that were involved were actually Muslims. And Muslim from onset has been known to marry more than one wife, of course, for those who can afford it or for those who can actually take care of them. And so when this happened, it was alarming because everybody already knows that this kind of thing happened in the, with Muslim, that they can marry more than one wife. Assuming it was Christian, it would be say, okay, maybe this is a little bit different. But for this to have happened is an issue. And according to them, the man married a second wife, and the first wife has been living in jealousy and anger and things like that because he didn't like the fact, or she didn't like the fact, that the husband married a second wife, and for that reason, she has been living in jealousy and anger. And eventually, when the husband left to go and stay with the second wife because he rented a different house for them, so when he left to go and stay with the second wife, the first wife carried out this evil act by beating the children and cutting them with knives, and the two of them died. One was about 5 years, and the other one about 3, and they both died. And then the third child that was staying with them, which is her sister's daughter, didn't die because she was a little bit grown, and so even though she had a cut, but she survived it. And after she perpetrated that, she disappeared, and they're still looking for her right now. And the thing is that everybody was saying if she wasn't happy with the marriage, or if she wasn't happy with the fact that the husband married a second wife, then she should have taken the case to court and not to have taken matter to in her own hands, because right now she is going to be termed as a murderer, and for her to have murdered her own kids is unthinkable. Which mother does that? No matter how angry you are, no matter how displeased you are, how will you take it out on small children that are innocent and doesn't even know what is happening? They might not even know the complexity of what is happening right now, that their dad, has married another wife. But for the woman to now take it out on them is something that is not really something that anybody was expecting. If you had an issue, or if you're having an issue with your husband, take it out with your husband. If you have to sue him, sue him. If you have to seek for a divorce, seek for a divorce. But not to kill children that don't even know what is happening. Innocent kids have been have been killed right now because of what the man did. But I think this should also be a wake-up call to those that actually marry more than one wife, to know that there are a lot of risk involved in that. I mean, if you are going to marry a second wife after you had the first one, it's important that you have a good discussion with your wife. I mean, because if you don't have a good relationship with your first wife or so, and you marry a second wife, it means you might not really have a happy home anymore. If you used to have a happy home, you might not have a happy home anymore. And a lot of strategies that people have used to go walk around this is to have a different home or a different house for different wives, which is understandable, and it look as if it is smart. But look at what happened right now. When the man left the house, the woman now had the right, had the power, and had the chance to perpetrate this evil act. So no matter what, even if you have the money to marry more than one wife, you should still have a good relationship with your wives, because you live with these people. And even we have seen in worst cases whereby the woman herself even took out the life of the man, which is something that we have seen happen a lot of times, which is the more common one that we see. Or sometimes you hear that a woman poured hot water on the husband, on things like that. But in this case, that the woman now killed her own children is very, very sad. So if you're married more than one wife, I think you should be smart about that. Still maintain a good relationship with them. Or why not end one and then start a new one? If you have to really do that and you don't have a good relationship, and you don't have a good relationship with your current wife, maybe that is what is leading you to marry a second wife or a third wife or so, then end the relationship, seek a divorce, and then end it legally, and know that you are free to take on a second wife or a third wife or so. Because if you keep someone that doesn't want to stay with you, then you are actually putting your own life in danger. And as we have seen right now, you're also putting the life of your kids in danger if there are any involved, because there is no saying, with a woman's rage, especially when she feels she has been hurt, she feels she has been cheated, she feels she has been deprived, and things like that. she can get very, very angry. And this is not to say that that women get angrier than men, but we've seen this played out a lot of times, that when you hurt a woman so badly and she want to take out with you, she can do the unthinkable. She might not really think about it when she's doing it, but eventually when she's done, she might actually recall that, oh man, what I did was bad, or she feel remorse. For those who will feel remorse, a lot might not even feel remorseful because they feel you have hurt them very, very bad. Of course, we don't know the whole story, and we are yet to hear from the woman herself. But even whatever the story will be, it shouldn't warrant her, taking the life of her own children. That is unheard of. That shouldn't have happened. It could have been prevented. So we hope that justice is served, that she is eventually caught and also to court, and then let justice do its thing. But meanwhile, if you're a lady and you're in this situation, this is not an advisable thing to do. Take the matter to court, seek a divorce or whatever, but don't take the life of your kids. They don't have any connection to that. This is not their problem. It's your problem and your husband's problem. Settle it. If you can't settle it, leave the marriage. If you can't leave the marriage, then, whatever, just don't take the life of your kid. That's just the baseline, because that sets you up as being a mother right now. And she's going to be charged with murder. And you know what that means is, is a typical case and not a light case. So that's what I have to say, though. And it's sad, and we hope that the family and everybody finds the fortitude to bear the loss of their kids and make amends for a greater life and a greater future. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next one.